YouTube. I'm Quasar.
And I'm Nova.
And we're the Chronomaly
Kings.
Kings. So today we're going to talk to you guys about why you should be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So Yu-Gi-Oh! First of all is basically a children's card game. And why you should play it? Why you should play it? Well, first of all, it's better to be playing that than fucking smoking crack, right? So there's that.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
But no,
Probably smoking crack gets the girls more though.
It's debatable.
Okay, true. Depends if you're looking for hot or not.
Yeah.
Anywho, we've gone beyond the point.
Anyways, yeah. It actually is a very educational game, though. You get to learn a lot about, like...
Words.
Okay, maybe if you're, like, 3 years old, they can teach you how to read, but, like, probably won't be seeing any 3-year-olds playing. You get to learn how, like, different cards interact with each other, and, like, learning how to build a deck, how to make things work in order to, like, make a deck as best as you possibly can. So, like, probably deck building would be one of the great benefits that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has. Another really good one would be the fact that, like...
teaches you strategy.
Yeah.
So you can go out there and, like, you know, get a job afterwards and you can go and you be in the army and strategize for them.
Well, yeah, that's true,
Where do I place my niggas? Just, you know, summon my blue eyes white dragon.
Yeah.
What's this
You're
card?
out on the battlefront. Guys are holding guns. You're like, wait! Draw! In front of the Archfiend! Oh, swag!
Damn, dragon summons, kills them all. New way to use Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, anyway, no, it teaches you how to think ahead. It's kind of like chess. Like, you know, all those geniuses start off with chess because it teaches them to be smart with strategy. Simple strategy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas when you're working, you kind of, this is gonna be so stupid. When you're if you're like, say you're working and you cleaning up, right? You don't like just jump between two different things, right? You kind of build a strategy around how you're gonna tackle the task at hand to get it done the fastest way. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Teaches you that because they teach you how to, building your deck alone teaches you how combos and stuff like that, different ways to get to the end goal. And then playing the deck, you gotta play strategy-wise to you gotta strategize to get to the end with what you have, and then certain situations, depending, right, you gotta make choices if something happens, you know. Same thing is like if you're working and something happens and you're gonna get something done and you have to do something else, you gotta like adjust your kind of thing.
That's a good point. And also another point I wanted to bring up was the fact that it allows you to research, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is constantly coming out with new content, so you're looking them up and then seeing, okay, this card's good for like these reasons, and you can like use these cards in like certain decks in order to like make the deck better. So you're always like researching and like thinking forward about, okay, this is gonna be the card I need in order to make this deck better for this reason.
Plus,
so it builds like it builds like your researching skills too. So
also it brings, like, let's say you're just starting the game, you know, maybe you're at home, maybe you're at home, right, and you know, maybe you don't have any friends or something like that. It helps because if you get out there and you meet people with the same interest as you, or you're trying this out, you'll meet guys and maybe they'll be friendly and and they'll try to help teach you the game, you know. It helps bring you into the game. It keeps you
brings you into the community too. Yeah,
that's
a great way to start too. You know, you can just go to locals. I mean, sure, you get your ass kicked if you just bring like a starter deck, but you can at least learn from them, right? You can just ask, like, okay, this is all I got. Like, what can I do to like become a better player? And people, well, as far as I know, are always like really helpful with that kind of stuff. They're always willing to help. They'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? This is, you know, these cards are good, these cards are shit. Maybe replace the shit cards with like these good cards, and then your deck's just gonna be like that much better.
Yeah. Plus, YouTube. Again, researching. If you're trying to build a deck, you can go online and net deck and kind of build ideas. You can look at the decks, and then based on how you want to play the deck, or based on what cards you want to play,
just like tweak it a little
tweak
bit.
it a little bit to me. So you basically when we look up decks, we look for cores, and we build it based on how we want to play the deck. Not on how, like, okay, you look at a deck that tops, right? Okay, if you look at the first time a deck tops, the next time a deck tops, it might not be exactly the same. Because the person who tops next will play it differently.
That's just how Yu-Gi-Oh works.
That's how Yu-Gi-Oh goes. It goes, but they'll be generally similar. There might be like a few cards different here and there.
Yeah, but like mostly the core would generally be the same.
I mean, you'll see like Cosmo players. You'll see like a general core is the same, but you might see one person only playing like one farm girl. Maybe one person's playing 3, one person's playing 2. It's just totally like player preference.
Yeah.
If you don't like, if you think like you have to see 3 farm girls, you want to see as fast as possible, plays 3. Maybe some guy who's like, you know what, maybe farm girl's not as important as we think, builds a deck to only 1. Maybe a guy thinks it's in between but doesn't want to oversee it, plays it at 2, right? It all comes down to how you want to build.
Yeah.
But Yu-Gi overall, like Yu-Gi is like, if you're just starting off or you want to like just do something, you don't want to sit around and like just be like, what am I doing? Like sitting home and just
yeah, if you got free time, you should just try looking up where a local card shop is, go over and just like kind of feel it out, get a deck, start to like integrate into the Yu-Gi-Oh community, because like it's a lot of fun and you're gonna enjoy yourself building decks, you know, watching different profiles, learning how to play different decks, and it just really like,
it's good for
it makes you really happy though too. Like once you have like a deck finished that you know you've been working so hard to finish too, you're like, wow, I actually did it. And then you can like go play with friends too.
Yeah, it's also a good way to bring, like, you can bring friends into it as well. You know, if you and a friend, you know, you're sitting at lunch and it's like, what do we do? It's like, well, you know what? You check out, you know, maybe you guys find a couple of different decks, you know, build stuff you want. Excuse me. And then maybe you meet people, like, you know, a couple people see you playing that maybe you didn't know likes the game. You know, they're sitting
and they're like,
they're
oh,
at
geez,
home.
Tomorrow I'm gonna bring my deck too,
Yeah,
and then you guys can duel, right?
Then you get closer, you get more friends. I mean, it's not like, okay, it's not as good. It's like not crazy popular stuff, but I mean, you will find people that enjoy it as well. That you might, because like, why would you go out and play sports, like, if you hate sports, just to pick up friends that you might like just not really like, when you could be playing something you like, and then like you'll meet guys you actually do like, and it's like you have a connection, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So overall, the game's, it's pretty good. I can't complain since I've played it. Like, I've definitely benefited from it more than I haven't benefited from it.
Yeah, definitely, that's true.
Yeah. But remember to comment, like, and subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.